Hey, this is Erin from Super in Second, and we are going to give this thing a whirl. Um, what we're going to talk about in this first clip is how to add classes, how to add standards, how to add events, and writing a lesson. Just the basics. So once you're on planbook.com and you log on in and you wait because I'm in the country and I have rural internet. There we go. So here's my plan that I'm teaching from right now. And you'll notice a lot of text is already in there. One of the things I want to point out is the specials. I don't type that every day, but we'll get into that. So let's take a look at your school year. One of the really cool things you can do is create multiple school years. So the school year I'm teaching from is the 2014-2015. Then I created a curriculum overview as a place to put my framework in. It's a work in progress, and we'll talk a little bit about that in the third video. Here's what we're going to play with today. This is blank. I haven't done a thing. So once you set up your school year with your start date and your end date, that's what's going to look like. So let's add some classes. We don't have any classes, so we need to go to classes. Once you kind of learn how this page thinks, it becomes intuitive. There's a learning curve to this program, so just be patient. Don't get frustrated. It really is worth it in the end. So we need to add a class, and I'm going to name it morning meeting. If you don't add start times, everything shows up in alphabetical order. So this is going to be start at 8. So you have to click the hour, click the minute, and then click set time. Again, not intuitive, but once you get into it, it makes sense. I'm going to do this class every day, so instead of typing, I'm just going to copy it in. Cool, it doesn't matter that Saturday and Sunday have times in, they're not checked. And let's make this a bright, happy, good morning color. All right, so I've got this class in. Let me add another class. This one will be math, and we'll start that at 9 to 10. And I love green. Okay, we'll just go with there. You would continue going with your classes. And you may even want to make a Sunday class, which again, hang out on my Getting Fancy, and we're going to talk a lot about adding those classes. So I'm done adding classes, and I want to go to my lesson plans. I'm going to go to my plans. And you'll see now I have plans. I set this class only to be the month of April. So you'll see I was school day 4. One of the things that happened last year, we had so many snow days in my district, and everybody got off on what school day it was. And one grade level did the 100th day one day, another one did it another day, and a third did it like 2 days later. It was a mess. With this, I didn't have to worry about it this year because it tracks my school days, and I can bump the days if we have a snow day, and it keeps up with it. And that's in the fancy class. We'll check it out here. So there we've added some classes. Well, we need some information in them. To add details, we're going to double click, and you've got these lists. You can type your lesson. This is just a text box you can type in. You can add your materials. The list I don't use very often. I'm sure it's totally worthwhile to get into. I just haven't. And the standards. This is where this app shines. I'm going to play with Virginia standards because I'm in Virginia and they came up. So this is where I'm going to find, well, I don't want to do social studies. Let's go with, let's do social studies. So I'm going to pretend that we're doing map skills, and we're going to learn about China. Oh, we'll do China there. All right, so all I did was click on those, and hit apply. Now I've got my standards listed here in my lesson. It looks super fancy. It looks like you spent a lot of time researching your standards, doing all the right things, but you just clicked a couple things. You can also add, which I thought was incredible, is Bloom's. Here, you can, and this was something that came up at a professional development at the beginning of the school year. We were tasked with including Bloom's on our lessons. And I was like, man, that is just not going to happen, because really? But by doing it this way, I've been pretty consistent about following directions. So in this lesson, my kids are going to analyze. Now I've got understanding, applying, and analyzing all clicked. I don't want all of them. I'm just going to click again and they'll go away. So I'm going to apply this. Now if we look up here again, right, I've got my information. So now I want to type what's going on. You might, the learner will, whatever it could be that you're doing. Locate China, oops, I ought to do it nicely, on the map and relate to the different Chinese created. And that could be your opening statement. Depends on what you need for your district. You can type anything. So our activity will be showing the video, and I can put a link to my video. I can embed the video right there. Complete interactive notebook pages. See attached file. I can walk through step by step exactly what I'm going to do. In my materials, I can say we need our textbook pages 234. We will need interactive notebook pages, and we will need YouTube. Watch what happens when I add my materials and my lessons. So I've got all of my all of my details on the screen, and since this is my first screencast, I just touched the screen to show you. You're not here to see it. And then you can see where the materials are, and then my standards. As this fills in, things get crazy. You may not want to look at your whole week at a glance. You may want to only see, where's that at? Right here. Only see the day. Only look at your day view. Maybe you are crazy and you want to see what your whole month looks like. You'll see with the month, it's not expanded. You could see what's going on. Let's just say now that you've got your classes in, you've written a couple of lessons, but oh my goodness, it is time for a break. So let's say that the 6th through the 8th is a no school day, and it is teacher relaxation time. You can add more details in here, again, just like anything else. You can put links. Do I want to shift my lessons? Absolutely, because if I went in and wrote lessons on days that I don't have school, they get deleted. So yes, I'm going to shift my lessons. We're going to wait. So let's go back to my plans and see what that looks like now. That month is just stressing me out. Here we go. So this is, okay, we've got our classes here, Oh, here's my events, teacher relaxation. And you'll see it says no school, and my school day starts over right here. It just put a pause in it. Fine, whatever, that's great, you might say, but what about early releases? Okay, well, we'll just add in an early release. I have found that if I put in the times, they file in where they belong on the day, and sometimes I forget. I like to leave them all without a start time so they pop up at the very top of my screen. Now you see I didn't click a no school day, so we still have school that day. And go back to my plans. And I don't even remember what date that was. What was that next week? Early out right here. So I can have that reminder. For me, when I have SST meetings, when I have student birthdays, I put all of those in. Faculty meetings, and I'll put the time if necessary at the top. You can't change that I'm aware of the background of the text color. You can once it's in here. So if I wanted to do this, get those kids on the bus. And I wanted to make it big because I don't want to forget to do that. Let's go crazy. And I want it bolded. I want it fuchsia, and I want the background black. Whoa, that's intense. So now it's there. That looks absolutely horrible. Please don't do that on your own plans. Okay, something changes. Oh, I just delete that. These little carrots. So we've added classes, we've added events, we've added standards, and we talked about writing a lesson. I think that's a pretty good fit for this first go round. If you're still with me, the next clip is going to take it to the next level. Talking about templates and adding pictures. Oh my gosh, Pinterest, you're going to go crazy. And making changes on the fly. So please click on the next one and join me again. Have a great one.